I'm about ready to taste this, but I'm pretty sure I nailed this one too, so.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, gather around. You know what time it is. It is time for our bi-weekly installment of the one and only Cooking with Jack show. And today, we are in for quite a doozy. Now, it is beyond an understatement to say that we've seen Jack cook his fair share of bad things on this channel, but what we're going to be looking at today has got to go down as one of the worst things yet. You might have never realized, but we've never seen Jack cook fish before. It's always been chicken, beef, garbage, stew, mayonnaise cake, you know, normal cooking. And well, that might be because fish is apparently one of the things that scares Jack. And after watching this video, you're probably gonna understand why. This is like an entire video on how Jack doesn't really know how to cook fish, and by the end of it, he thinks that now he does, but just a quick spoiler alert, he came to the wrong conclusion. I am genuinely saddened that a fish had to die for this video to be made, and you're about to see why. But before we begin, I want to talk about today's video sponsor, Be Kind. Now, Be Kind is an online jewelry store that was made with the goal in mind to help protect bee colonies around the world. By selling their jewelry, they're able to donate part of their profits to help develop bee colonies and provide bees with the best possible conditions. Now, some of you might be thinking, August, why are they donating money to the bees? Why do the bees need money? And the answer to that question is without the bees, our world would be entirely different. Without bees, all of the plants that bees pollinate would not be around. So all of the animals that ate those plants would not be around. And then all of the animals that ate those animals that ate the plants would not be around. You see where I'm going with this. Bottom line is we need the bees. Be Kind makes some really cool jewelry. All of their designs are pretty neat. And hey, Mother's Day is coming up, so it's a perfect opportunity to buy something. Maybe get her a sunflower necklace, win some easy brownie points. I bet your sibling won't think of this. Become the favorite. Make your mom happy and make the bees happy. I mean, what more could you really ask for? Don't answer that question because I'm about to give you even more. Because if you visit the link in the description and use the discount code AugustTheDuck, you will receive 20% off your order. You're welcome. Once again, I want to thank Be Kind for sponsoring this video. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
So I got on the internet and I started studying some fish recipes, and I didn't, anytime I cook fish, it's really simple. You fry it in butter and garlic and you serve it. Or you throw the white fish in the tomato sauce and then you serve it. And I wanted something a little bit different, and I try and stay away from seafood.
Now, I think this sentence is the core issue of this video. I'm guessing he's looking to change up the normal way he cooks salmon, and while he takes an idea that is a genuine recipe, then, in his normal style, he proceeds to forget every number he just read, and it does not turn out very good.
Because it's so temperamental and, you can ruin it pretty easy.
That is kind of true, but it really helps to not ruin seafood if you follow an established recipe. Just throwing that out for you, Jack.
All right, first thing you're gonna do, preheat the oven. Always do that first. We're gonna be using the oven later. Okay, so preheat it to 400 degrees. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna cook your potatoes in about an inch and a half of water. Cover the lid, and you're going to cook those for about 12 minutes. And you're going to cool them down with some cold water and cut them in half. So let me do that right now. I'm going to take it over to the sink, cool them down. And there you go. They're all cut in half. They've been all cooled down in cold water. Put these off to the side for right now.
The first time watching this through, I did not even question this cooking technique. I was like, yeah, Jack eating half raw potatoes, that makes sense. Don't worry, he ends up cooking them more. Still not fully, but him eating a potato like this would not surprise me.
In fact, I'm going to cut my salmon in half because I don't have that long of a skillet, and this is a really long piece. So I'm going to give it a nice slice in the middle. Make 2 steaks out of this.
Yeah, Jack, you could probably make about 8. You don't have to cook the entire fish in 1 or 2 chunks. You're allowed to cut it. Believe it or not, it's almost recommended.
Very gently, as it tries to want to break apart. See if we can get this going. Bring it over here into a dish, a baking dish of some sort. I'm using a glass one. You can use a Corningware. You can use a metal 9x13 if you wanted to.
Okay, so I've probably cut it out for the final video because it's just a lot of nothing, but just know that he cooked this salmon for about 10 minutes total, and now he's putting it into a baking dish. And remember, the oven is preheated to 400 degrees. Keep all of this in mind.
Then you're going to take your potatoes, you're going to scatter them all around the fish.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know how valid this is as a cooking technique, putting all of the fish and all of the potatoes together to go in and cook all at once. For some reason, it just kinda seems wrong to me, but once again, I don't really know. Let me know if this is a real thing.
Time to now work on our Dijon broth.
Okay, so I googled Dijon broth because I've never heard of that before, and I was just kind of curious as to what it is, and I actually managed to find the recipe that I'm pretty positive he used to make this video. It's from 2008, so maybe Jack just doesn't know that not all recipes are good. I guess this one isn't fully on Jack because these are just really bad instructions. Tina Rupp really screwed you over, Jack. But hey, we're already this far, so why quit now? We'll just go a little bit lighter on Jack for the rest of the time.
Oh wow, it looks so good.
Jack, buddy, I know you're just following instructions, but your eyes still work. This does not look good at all. I'm getting garbage stew flashbacks.
This looks so good. The broth smells amazing. Take it out carefully. Look at that. The potatoes are just soaking up that juice right now. Let's take a fork to the potatoes and make sure it's cooked. Oh, yep, all the way through. Beautiful.
Jack, you are not making this easy for me to go easy on you. It's not just whether or not you can get a fork into a potato, it's how it goes into the potato. If the only qualification was that the fork somewhat goes through, well then every potato would be considered done. I mean, you can look at the ones in the corner and tell that they're not cooked all the way through.
Lay that along the bottom. Big piece of fish here. Put that right on there. How beautiful is that, huh? We're going to take a piece of potato right there. There we go. All right. That's looking better already, isn't it? Here we go. Now.
Guys, I think I'm having a revelation here. I'm honestly starting to believe that Jack is just on the world's longest streak of finding horrible recipes. Because, I mean, he is following this to the T. Like, the last step says divide the spinach among 4 shallow bowls and top with the salmon and potatoes. He is doing everything it says, it's just a horrible recipe. Get this man a real cookbook and he might actually be able to produce something edible.
I'm about ready to taste this, but I'm pretty sure I nailed this one too, so I'm about ready to celebrate. I don't know about you guys.
Well, Jack, you see I'm at a crossroads here. Technically, you did nail this recipe. I mean, you followed every step, but at the same time, you did pan fry a salmon fillet for 10 minutes and then bake it at 400 for over 20 minutes. You might as well have dropped a nuclear bomb on this poor fish. Well, guys, it seemed like this episode really boosted Jack's confidence around fish, so I'm really worried about what that might mean for the fish population. There's gonna be millions of fish dying around the planet only to be turned into dry mush. It's a tragedy. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
Subscribe.